Here we are at Channel Kitchen with Akeme Cox and Aliya Trotman. Thanks for taking the time. Yes, so I'm Don Leacock.
And I'm Shayan.
And this is Charitable Conversations. So, we are here with the two of y'all. Tell me a little bit about yourself, Akeme.
Hi, so my name is Akeme. I'm 27. I do a lot of charity work with young people. I'm a global award winner, Princess Stress. I'm friends with lots of international celebrities. So I'm the most interested man alive.
Yeah, I have seen you with quite a few people on it. So tell us about your Princess Trust a little bit. Because I know that's what takes you on most of your international business.
So the Princess Trust is a charity that helps young people around the world. It originated in the UK, and now the first program outside of the UK I was part of, which was the teen program, and that completely changed my life around. So I would say that the Princess Trust is the perfect solve for young people to go any program that they have going on. I encourage young people to go sign up because it could be life changing.
So as much as you want to say here, you could be as candid or as vague as you want. Why did your life be changing?
I say this all the time, I was a slave to popular thinking. So I wasn't really living my true potential. And I was just on the block, hanging around losers, guys that
just on the block,
just on the block, wasting my life. But the funny thing about that is that I had so many people telling me what to do, but not enough people ask me what I want to do. So the block culture is a welcoming culture. So you feel comfortable, or you could be vulnerable. If you have something going on at home, you're like, say you have problems with family, my mother always doing this and doing that, and then another fellow on the block will tell you, well, I can actually see anything, and then you will feel comfortable. So getting comfortable in that environment is like a trap, because they know after you get comfortable, you get defeat, negativity all the time is really bad.
Yeah, definitely. I hear a lot that, it is very comfortable. As you said, you can be open, you can be candid, you can be honest. But then, when you try to elevate yourself from there and then leave eventually, don't you face a lot of pushback, a lot of forces trying to keep you there?
I think that I never got pushback, because most of my friends, we know our true potentials. So to see one of us elevated, I motivated most of the youngsters that used to be around to find change and change their lives.
Anything you want to
No, but I would like to ask. You said you talked about a lot of youngsters, so you can introduce the little young lady next to you.
So this is Aliya Trotman. She's a very talented young lady. She's my best friend. Keeps me motivated, keeps me in check, keeps me grounded. She's the most interesting young lady in Barbados.
Yeah, good stuff. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself today?
Good morning, everybody, again. It is so lovely to be here. Thank you so much for having me. Both yourself and Shan. As you said, just know my name is Aliya Trotman. I'm 22 years of age. Aliya Akeme, I spent a lot of time working with young persons, with the youth. I used to work with juvenile delinquents. Also a musician.
Which instrument?
I'm a saxophonist. But I also compose and arrange professionally as well.
So gospel would be your main genre?
No, actually.
What is it?
I don't have a main genre.
Okay, just very versatile.
I do what the word tells me to do.
Perfect. Nice.
Yes.
So what makes you passionate about the youth then, that you decided to get involved in that? That's what you want to do long term with your career?
Most definitely. Aliya Akeme, we grew up meters away from one another and never knew one another until maybe, yes. We did a focus group together, which was also centered around the youth and whatnot, and that's where I met Akeme, but we grew up meters apart and we never grew up in the same neighborhood. So I could probably identify, or my story is probably identical to Akeme's, and it was a case where I made it out by chance. And the self-awareness that I grew to possess made me very grateful for that, because I was not aware of when that was happening. That process, I was not aware of that process. It was just a byproduct of the environment that I happened to end up in, things that I happen to choose, or the things I happen to take interest in that allow me, or there was a melting pot for my personal growth, and it changed the trajectory of my life.
What would you say are some of the problems the youth are facing coming off the back of the pandemic now? Where it might be like a lack of education, they might be a little bit behind. What would you say are the main concerns?
My number one concern with you at this current moment is mental health. I don't think there's any.
That can be, said relatively broad. You wanna like tighten it a little bit, or you can just talk about it as mental health.
At this current moment, depression is running rampant in our young people, and I don't only mean young adults like myself and Akeme. I mean children as young as 11 years old right now. With the field that I work in, I come into contact with so many persons, and it is alarming the similarities between each story that I hear every time I conduct an interview or I speak to a family. It is alarming the practices that I am seeing children engaging in, the attachment to social media, the unrealistic expectations of self, and I find there's nobody. Being frank and honest with young persons, like social media is not what real life is. That's not real life.
No, it's just highlights. It's not people who highlights.
Social media is a singular second, 12 seconds, 60 seconds of 24 hours, of 30 days in a month, of 12 months in a year, of somebody's life. You understand? And I find that our young people are holding themselves to those expectations and trying to live up. I'm trying to live a captured moment 24/7. And that pursuit of that unrealistic pursuit, an unrealistic, unattainable goal, is sending our young people into, I don't know what to say severe grades, but it's severely impacting our young people in a very negative way. And it hurts me. It really hurts.
Do you have anything, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I completely agree with you, yeah, because like even me sometimes I struggle with my mental health. But we have to find coping mechanisms, because like it's really hard to vent in the Asian culture, because there's a lot of gossip, so like vents lead to other rooms, so it's hard to find safe spaces as young people to share your grievances and express how you really feel. And most of the time, when especially as a young man, like you being vulnerable is shunned upon. But I think as a man, you being vulnerable is one of the strongest things you could ever do, because you don't know the backlash that you will receive and stuff. So like mental health is very important for me, and that's why when I mentor young people, I ask them how they're doing mentally. I tell them to find coping mechanisms, because everybody isn't brave enough to go and reach out to someone. So they can find hobbies. Me personally, I do fishing, get away from all the loud noises, and look into self, and heal from situations instead of trying to forget them.
How would you motivate someone in poverty whose mindset might have been similar to yours growing up?
And to ask that question, how do you stop yourself from slipping back into that culture? Because sometimes it's like a drug addiction, you get addicted to it, you're used to it, and then you break away from it. So how do you stop yourself from slipping back into it? Like, I know that you said you have legs which are like fishing and what's not, but how do you speak to someone that's like, I really would like to go back to who I used to be, because that's what I'm familiar with, and what I'm doing now is kind of out of my comfort zone. I'm trying to be resilient, but I don't know how to stay in my resilience.
So my answer for that question would be like, when you find purpose, you can't hide from it. So when you get out of that environment and see what life is really about, you get to experience different countries around the world. You get to experience the simple things in life, like the comfort of going out and not having to look over your shoulder. So like the pull is, it's easy to want to gravitate back to that lifestyle. But when you really look at it, look at the pros and the cons. Like crime pays, but when it's time for you to pay back, it's with your life or your freedom.
In the love block.
In the love block. The streets don't, as Cartel said, the streets don't love nobody, So like for me, I wanted to be a drug dealer, and on the block, I wanted to like murder somebody. I established my name as a bad boy, you know, and that's what's being fed to a lot of youngsters. But these days aren't like in the 1960s and stuff, man. Only one body had it there. So like that's just going down a slippery slope. So you kill somebody, as soon as you come out back out of jail, people looking for revenge. So that's just like the game and load up Call of Duty and expecting everybody to be glorious and being friendly after you kill somebody and not want revenge. So it's just foolish, you know. And like,
so what was your major turning point? What was it, the Prince's Trust then? Or you would say that was
yeah, so the Prince's Trust was the main turning point because like Emran Richards, who grew up in that show with he recommended me to the program, and like the program is a safe environment for you because you know young people can't grow in the stifling environment, and like you really find out who you are in the team program, and you get to work with others. And you realize that you know what, I'm not the only one that is fighting this, and like as I said earlier, young people have too many people telling them what to do, and not enough people asking them what they want to do. So the Prince's Trust, like they listen, they give you a journal, you write in your journal, and they create opportunities in the field that you want to get a career in.
Gotcha. So we go back to you, Aliya. You were a cadet growing up, correct?
Yes, he was still in your
Still in the army. Congrats, yeah. We definitely need everybody. Many hands on deck to fight off all of our versus many enemies. So
I don't know how to do that.
so that and then music. You already said music played a role in your life growing up. Can you tell us about that then? How the cadets, I guess, would have given you a more disciplined approach to maybe others in your environment?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes is the very short answer. Let me explain why. I was also talking to Akeme not too long ago, and I was telling Akeme that what I find a lot of persons that even persons older than myself are soft skills.
Okay.
Soft skills are invaluable. They teach you how to navigate situations. Soft skills are intangible. They're not, you can't see them, but they're what make or break a person.
And they're very hard to learn because you don't learn them in any education.
Extremely. So as I said, I am a very fortunate person, and I'm sorry that the whole world can't be as fortunate as me because I happened to join cadets. It was not something that I was like, I can actually do. I'm a very adventurous person. So just on a whim, I went and I joined cadets. After joining cadets, subconsciously I was able to pick up these skills because cadets is a place where the focus is never self. So I don't have time to go on what I am feeling, just a task at hand. How am I going to do this task to the best of my abilities and to the satisfaction of the persons that are dependent on me? You know, so it was never a case where I had time to dwell on self. It was more a case of let me tackle this. Let me see how I can do this. You know, and it was just a mindset instilled in me where I always focus on why I'm doing it and not necessarily how you go. It's extremely important, but it's going to motivate you to the how you're going to do it. You understand? So cadets definitely, for me, I say to many persons all the time, every single time that cadets taught me, cadets made me the person that I am today. And I would encourage anybody to still join the organization. It's an excellent organization. It's a great place to be. And I would encourage anybody to join cadets. Cadets is also where you started to take music seriously. I joined cadets. All the positive peer pressure actually. I came on a whim but stayed for greatly as a result of positive peer pressure. And that positive peer pressure led me to the cadet band. And that's where I realized that I had a talent for music. When I coupled it with hard work, I started to excel. And I found somewhere that I felt comfortable and a place that was conducive to my own personal growth. And I stayed there, which is what I said earlier. I happened out of a bad situation. It was not something that I set out. I was just very fortunate to be, or to make choices that put me on, or that set a positive, or set a different, or change my trajectory.
How were you guys able to dream bigger? How were you guys able to envision and visualize yourselves out of the negative community that you saw yourselves in and that you were in?
Yeah, you could do it.
Where we came from, there was nothing to lose. So when you have nothing to lose, you had everything to gain. And I think personally, I don't know if it's speaking for Akeme as well, it was just, when you are at, I don't even want to call it rock bottom, but when you just accept the circumstances and really look at where you are in life and realize that there's nothing, absolutely nothing I have to lose. Every choice I make, I can't lose anything. The only thing that could happen is if I am successful in this choice, I'm not going to be here, I'm going to be further or in a different direction, I'm going to be traveling in a different direction. So just for me personally, it came with the understanding that I had nothing to lose. And that was the catalyst, or my turning point personally, that realization was what started, or what encouraged me to start making different decisions and making different choices. That was me personally.
You wanted to add anything?
So for me, like it all comes back.
What is you? Yeah,
So for me, it all comes back to like being in the wrong environment. Like when you're in the right environment, you just continue to grow. And when God has purpose for you, you can't hide from it. So like everything will fall. Trust in God and everything will fall.
So what does purpose mean to you?
So purpose for me is helping young people, encouraging young people all over. Like, I get messages from young people from India, Africa, all sorts of places because of the recognition they get through the Prince's Church. I even get messages from celebrities, people that are very, very famous.
When you're in minorities, like used to read whatnot, people around the world can see you, and they can reach out to you, and they
So
can
like you never know, like you never know who's watching, and those things keep me motivated to know that young people and older people are looking at my story and feeling inspired.
No, definitely. What would you say is one of the best ways, because you both have clearly found your purpose, what would you tell other young people that both of you mentor, how do they find their purpose? What's the best way to do it?
And how do you maintain it?
My advice is start something. Whether it be a new job, whether it be a new school, whether it be a hobby, start something. Because the only way you could know what you really like is if you try stuff. And don't give in to peer pressure. Go sign up for all sort of things, you know, and give back positive peer pressure to your friends. So if you know that your friend has a potential in a certain area, force them, go sign them up, volunteer them for those sort of programs and stuff. So start something.
Have anything to add to that, Aliya? How would you encourage young people to find their purpose? If they're a bit astray, a bit lost at the moment?
Everybody has their results. Every day you wake up, you think about something. Every day you wake up, depending on your circumstances, you want something different than where you currently are. I would tell you to take yourself seriously. Listen to your wants, listen to what you crave, listen to your mind, listen to your heart. And the how to do it is to shake off the lunatic risks.
Well said. We got some wonderful hot sauce here. I've tried most of the flavors already. This one here is Aliya Inferno. I never seen this one before.
Yeah, that one is so nice to enjoy.
Talk to us about the business. How long you been making hot sauce?
So actually I'll start from the beginning. Before I used to sell like seafood to tourists, lobsters and stuff. But after the ban of plastics, like it wasn't economical. And I would buy hot sauce from a lady in the neighborhood and resell it. So I never used to make hot sauce or anything. And then the pandemic happened. So I had won my global award right before the pandemic happened. And I was fortunate enough to be awarded my award by a guy called Levi Roots, who has one of the biggest hot sauce brands in Europe, regular sauce. And we had just a 20-minute conversation for us, and he gave me like some really good business advice, and that's advice that I use for the rest of my life. So young people start asking rich people for money, poor people for financial advice. But right, so like for me, when I was complaining about not having free time, and then when the pandemic happened, like the depression of being on the standstill, and I realized, this is the free time I wanted. So I started to experiment with flavors, and I initially created my own brand. So that's why I started pushing my sauce. I sold my first big blow with my hot sauces when I sold hot sauces Majesty the King, and that was recorded on Good Morning Britain. So that really motivated me to push my business. And from then on, like, being an entrepreneur isn't easy, but it's rewarding. And working for people gives me anxiety. You know, knowing that I put in all the work and the only one is that for them to reap all the rewards. Like I hate to hear, not shunning on people that work a normal 9 to 5, but I hate to hear at funerals people saying, man, he was a good man, this and that, and then his family is in debt to even bury him. So like for me, it's all about financial freedom and generational wealth. So this is how I see myself, creating generational wealth, and when the business is where you want it to be, then it can travel the world and inspire and help young people. So that's my purpose, helping young people.
For sure.
But the business will allow me to travel the world and do it on a bigger scale.
Perfectly. I mean, you got endorsements from the King of England, Lionel Richie, and most importantly, me. So,
Cardi Gondo.
Yeah, so congrats on the sauce. I love it. I personally probably like the mango the best. I haven't tried this Inferno so far. I'll have to try it shortly. But I love it. Parsley sauce.
We have some new flavors coming on. So we have plantain, golden apple, 5 finger. And I'm working on a watermelon recipe. Yeah, so.
5 fingers sound good. Golden apple sound good.
In closing, let's go back to Aliya first. I mean, you said that you had nowhere out. Was it that you said? I don't want to misquote you. You said that you had nowhere out and you had nothing to lose. That's what it was. So everybody in life comes to a sink or swim decision, and you decided to swim. And what was it that motivated you to swim and not sink?
What motivated me to swim and not sink was to play. Very bluntly, absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because when you're at that point, there's nothing that you can hear. There's nothing that anyone can tell you, because it is a personal belief that has you in that situation. Because if you look at other cultures in the world, there are persons that have more stipulations on their life, how many children they can have, how many bedrooms they can have in their house, how long they can stay outside, and they're still happy, they still find happiness in that because they believe that they're happy. I had to search very hard. I had to go looking for motivation at that same person. That is exactly it. There was nothing, I would be very honest, there was nothing that could have been said to me. There's nothing anybody in the world that could have told me that would have made me feel any better at that moment, because it was a personal belief.
You just found it.
It was something that you have to go looking for it. You have to want it.
And just very last question, what advice would you give to young people coming out of, the ghetto, similar situations, they're on the block all the time? How do you get off the block and into the world?
Start something. It all comes back to what I said earlier. Start something, and also remember, comparison is the thief of joy. So don't compare your life to anyone else's. You don't know the struggles they're going through. Just believe in yourself. And also remember, the journey should be as good as the destination. So don't be working hard to reach somewhere and not enjoy what you're doing. Not enjoying the process. Enjoy the process every moment, the goods, the bads, the ugly, because it builds resilience and self-confidence. So keep pushing.
Sounds good, appreciate it. Aliya, really nice to meet you and hear about the work you're doing. Fighting for our youth. Keep it Cox, I want to be like you when I grow up. Coming over here again. And just signing off again, I'm Aliya Cox.
And I'm Shannon.
And this has been another
Charitable Conversations.